It's your boy B. I am right back up at you guys with another one. What's up? What's happening? I'm back, y'all. I'm back. Let me clean off my little camera. All right, camera cleaned off. What up, y'all? How you feeling? We back on this rainy Monday, y'all. We back on this rainy Monday. This a rough one this morning. And I know I told y'all that gangsters don't walk around with umbrellas, but this one a little different, y'all. This one is definitely a little different. I can't just throw on a hoodie and make this walk. But it's cool, y'all. It's cool. I wouldn't have missed y'all for the world, man. And I missed all my outliers, man. How y'all feeling? Y'all might hear a little bit more pep in my step, you know? I had a relaxing time, y'all. And I wasn't on here for like a week. I did do a couple spot checks. I think I did one on Monday. You know, just talking about where we were. But I was on vacation, y'all. A brother finally took a vacation after years of never calling out, not taking a vacation, and just chilling. But we did something different last week, man. I went to St. Teasy, which is St. Thomas. I had so much fun out there that they said they're gonna give me 3 square miles in the mountains. And they're gonna name that St. Beezy. They're gonna name that name, that plot of land, St. Beezy. But we're gonna talk about my trip and everything that went on and happened during that time. Look at this, man. This wind, son. Jesus Christ, yo. Battling this craziness. Making it hard. But it is what it is. We're gonna do what we do. We're gonna do what we do, y'all. So I went to St. Thomas last week. This is why a brother was not online. And I'm gonna tell y'all a little stuff that happened during the trip. We also are going to get a little bit into this stuff with Dr. Fauci, man. I know I switch up from topic to topic, from things being funny to things also being real. So we're gonna mix both of those together today. We have a great conversation. Yo, this is mad hard, yo. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, yo. Y'all feel this wind? Look what it's doing. This is crazy, son. Damn, what the hell am I doing here? Why is it so damn windy out here, son? Oh, man. I feel like I'm about to get they gonna drop me off in Kansas. It's so wild out here. Damn, son. It ain't nice out here today, yo. It's the worst it's been in a while, especially with this wind. Damn. All right. We still gonna try to do it, man. We still gonna try to do it. Tell y'all about my trip. Just forget about it. But the trip was good, y'all. Trip was real good. Had me a real good time, y'all. You know, St. Thomas is a nice and relaxing island. So, here come the blizzards. Yeah, it was a nice and relaxing island, y'all. Real nice and relaxing island. We had like a mansion that was up there in the hills. And we'll speak about the hills a little bit later. But we had a mansion that was in the hills. It was 2 basement apartments, which was real nice. They had about 5 or 6 rooms. No, it was more than that. Had to be about like 8 rooms. You know, because a lot of us went. And it was probably like about 8 rooms. And each room had a view. Since in the mountains, each room Basically had view of the ocean and had view of the rest of the island because again it was in the mountains. So that was real nice. The people there, they seem real cool. The people there in St. Thomas, I didn't get to experience a lot of the people in St. Thomas because we were still like kind of secluded from everybody. Wasn't in like a real town area, but you know what I mean? It was definitely cool, definitely peace. You feel me? What's up, man? The people, all right. The people over there was cool. You feel me? Also, I didn't really go to a lot of restaurants out there. We went to one little restaurant. I'll tell y'all about that. And the food tastes good, man. The food most definitely tastes good. I like the local dishes and everything. We went to the supermarket out there to get stuff to cook. And again, the people out there just seem cool, you know, nobody really showed animosity toward us. And it was nice. We went on a yacht and we had pizza on the boat. I might show y'all some pictures of the yacht. It was cool, you know, cool. Me, I get motion sickness. So it was cool for most of the trip. But when the yacht stopped and it started to like push back and forth with the wind, that's when I started to feel a little bit nauseous. I took a pill and it alleviated some of that. But the good thing was that when we got back on land, it did subside and I started feeling real good. Next, we went on a boat ride to St. John, which is an island out there. And that island was cool, man. When we went over there, we went to the beach. And they said that the beach that we went to was one of the most, by National Geographic, ranked one of the top 20 beaches in the world. So we went over there. I could definitely understand why one would say that it's one of the best beaches. Because over here in New York, we got a few beaches, but none of them feel like that. The beaches out there seem private. And there's a lot less people on there than the New York spots. A lot of places out here in New York, it's overcrowded. A lot of times you can even find glass in the sand, y'all. Glass in the sand. And that's very dangerous, you know. So out here in New York, our beaches are definitely not the same. Our water doesn't look as blue. But it was peace out there also. Very relaxing. They sold food on the beach. They had drinks on the beach. And that was peaceful. I really enjoyed myself. So we left that. And last but not least, it was just cool. The whole vibe for the weekend was peaceful. I did a little bit of work, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. In the morning times, when I was on vacation, I was doing stuff that pertained to the office, everything that I could do. So when I come back today, I'm not really gonna be left in the dark with a whole bunch of stuff. So I am proud about that. Next, I want to speak about some of the things that was happening under the current of what we were seeing or what was planned to see. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is this, man. Them roads out there, yo. It ain't for new drivers, kid. It is not for new drivers, yo. I think I went into this with you guys before, where I spoke about how I really do not like driving, y'all. My brother really does not like driving. But we rented a car, and I actually did some driving out there. And I think I told you cats before that I've had dreams of driving and then falling off a cliff like a mountain. And that's the way that my life was gonna end. That's the way my life was gonna end. So after we rented the vehicles, right? We drove from the, I don't know where I'm walking. I'm about to walk into that. So, yeah, we, I got the vehicle. And the first thing that you notice is that out there, You got to drive on the left side of the street, y'all. The left side of the street. And that's different than America, where you drive on the right side of the street. So in America, I know like on Long Island, you can make rights on red. And your eye has just been trained since I've been driving for over 20 years. My eye is trained to scan certain things when I'm driving. So driving from the right side, you look for oncoming traffic to come from certain sides. But on the left side, it's like being a lefty. And it's like doing things like writing with your left hand. Or if you bat righty, trying to bat left-handed or throw. You know what I mean? Like that. And it's very, very, very awkward. So you got to look for different things and try to pick up and catch different things. I really wasn't used to that, y'all. Really wasn't used to it. So it was a little different, and it takes a lot of getting used to, y'all. A lot of getting used to it. So there were certain times where I'm at an intersection and I'm really stuck because traffic is coming. Somebody's behind me beeping, and really, I don't know which way to go because turning into the proper lane takes for you to think about it, and it's not automatic like it is out here in New York. And that was the first issue. Now, that was confusing enough. I could possibly get used to that. But then, when I put the address into the GPS, that's when things started getting real weird and freaky, y'all. Weird and freaky. And I say that because out there, it's nothing but mountains, y'all. Nothing but mountains. And our spot was really at the top of those mountains, man. At the top, so you had to drive from the airport or from in town, or to get into town, you got to drive up and down those mountains. And I'm telling you, y'all, it seemed like maybe 45-degree inclines going up some of those mountains. Now, I drove in Boston. I've drove in the Bronx. These are some hilly places. But I'm telling you, they got nothing on St. Thomas. Nothing. Now, the steep hills are one thing that you got to deal with. But the next thing you're going to have to deal with, which is equally as scary, is the fact that these roads, they have steep inclines, y'all. So, I mean, if you make the wrong turn or you're not paying attention and you go off the road out here in New York, you're going to go into like a rail, or you might crash into a wall or something like that. Out there, if that happened, you falling off that mountain, kid. And I don't think there's any chance of survival if you falling off those mountains like that, man. You know? So just having that, seeing that, and feeling that, it was really like making me nervous, man. But, you know, it is what it is. You can't allow your fears and things that give you anxiety to stop you from doing what you got to do. So ultimately, I did it. It was scary as hell, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, we did it, man. And it felt good, y'all. It felt good because I felt like that's one of the things that I did conquer. And, you know, it just made me stronger. Made me stronger as a person. So I really like that. Second, I could definitely see how people in those areas may feel about crazy Americans, y'all. Crazy Americans. And as Americans, we are crazy, y'all. We are some crazy people, son. You know, we go places and act like we own it. Very obnoxious. Our attitudes is like, okay, I get it. We there to turn up and there to have fun. But you also got to keep in mind that these places have locals. And the same way you feel about where you from, they feel like that about where they're from. So what I'm saying is that if we go into one of their local bars, and the DJ's playing music, and you up there with nothing but you Americans singing and doing karaoke and taking over their spot, that can make them feel some type of way. So while everybody's up there dancing, people jumping on tables, acting like this is spring break, I'm looking at the locals, son. I'm looking at the locals, my people. And the locals looking like, look at these stupid ass Americans. Look at these dumb ass Americans. And just putting the shoe on my foot. I'm from Hempstead, Long Island, my people. From Hempstead, Long Island. I used to go to a spot damn near every weekend, sometimes 2 times a week. Burgundy's over there on the Hempstead Heights. Now, to a certain extent, the regulars felt like that's their bar. That's their spot. Now just imagine people from a Brooklyn or from a Queens or from a different town, not even from Hempstead, coming out there, dancing on our bars, singing karaoke, like taking over the whole area. Like, it may seem cool, but in a place like Hempstead, that'll get you shot. That'll get you robbed. That'll get you jumped. So if you're in a spot in Hempstead and you're from, like, let's say, a Uniondale, or you from a Suffolk, like a Wandance, and they come out to Hempstead and they being obnoxious, making a scene, that makes the locals, the people who visit that spot on a daily basis, feel some type of way. And you can get yourself in trouble like that, man. So the point I'm saying is that be careful. Don't be drawing attention to yourself when you go into other people's neighborhoods, because you don't know how this may make the people feel. And in all honesty, this may be wrong. It may be illogical, irrational to do. But at the same time, I can understand it, man. Definitely can understand it. So overall, my trip was real good. I had me a great time. Spent time with some great people, and it was cool. Would I go back to St. Teasy? I absolutely would, but I ain't driving, y'all. I would not want to be driving, you know? So that explains what I was going for. That explains what I was doing. And now we back on that grind, y'all. Back on that grind. Now we're gonna switch topics to Dr. Fauci, Rand Paul, and this nonsense. And the first thing I want to say is this, man. Again, be considerate, my people. Be real with yourself. I'm looking at YouTube commenters, right? 26-year-olds who ain't did nothing in their life, never really contributed anything positive to the world. Didn't master anything. But all they got is a microphone and a platform. And they're going around repeating rumors based on the fact that they side with a political party. Now, that's okay if it's just something that's an opinion. That's cool. But when you start speaking about facts, like the origins of COVID, you got to do your own due diligence and do the research. And I'm going to tell you, politicians do not, and I tell you, politicians do not give you the full story. I've seen certain news networks and politicians cut things at a point because the next thing that the person was about to say went against their narrative, so they cut it there. And I've seen that with Dr. Fauci. Now, what I'm saying is this: you gotta have your belief in whatever you want to believe in. But if you believe in the lab leak theory, you gotta make it make sense. You gotta fit in all the evidence and make it make sense. Rand Paul's not making anything make sense. He's just rambling and talking crazy and trying to make Dr. Fauci look a certain way because he doesn't agree with him. And the people who get lost in the middle are the people that's not gonna do their own research. And they put out stuff that's harmful. So now a person like Dr. Fauci is receiving death threats and all types of things to him based off of incorrect information, my people. And for me, that's ugly. I'm about to go into this 7-Eleven and get me something to drink. I will talk to you cats later. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow, man. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow. But I love y'all. Peace out, kids.